I want to show Professor Elm what hatched from the egg. Here's the Togepi. This is where the Sudowoodo used to be. But now we can move on to what is called Route 37. If we go through the grass here, we find 3 apricorn trees. There's 7 in total. There was 1 behind Kurt's house in Azalea Town. These are the red, the blue, and the black apricorn, with the other 3 being in a different area. Some interesting Pokemon you can catch here. Standler, a good normal type Pokemon, can be caught here. I think Drowsy too, or is that just a trainer that's coming up that has a Drowsy? I think Hoothoot can appear here during nighttime. Pretty sure Standler. This is Standler's route. Let's go Jetpack, Flamethrower. Still feels weird seeing Togepi use Flamethrower, but it's possible. Starting with Crystal, but that's why I traded it to Crystal and back. Let's try Headbutt, maybe we get a flinch. Wow, that even dealt more damage than Flamethrower. I know it's stab, but its special attack's better than physical. Zigglypuff's special defense must be much higher than its physical. Let's check. Jig. Delete. Off. 20 defense, 25 special defense. No, it's not much different. Okay, that's a critical. And with a flinch. Let's do another flinch, Togepi. This is doing more than I expected. Encore, I'll take it. Just headbutt one more time. And Togepi wins the fight, beating 2 Pokemon without taking damage. Won't complain. And this is that Drowsy trainer I was referring to. Hypnosis. Ooh, Dream Eater as well. Okay, I see why sleep could be scary. Let's just switch. Probably a good idea to switch. Go to War Bandit. Sure, it's weak to Dream Eater, but then I first need to use Hypnosis. The Dream Eater only works if my Pokemon is asleep. Which it is now. So I'm going to switch again. Breeze, I choose you. And with Headbutt, we win the battle. Ryan, good morning. How are your Pokemon doing? Remember, Chop's really energetic. Almost got a Rattata. You want to be like youngster Joey? Okay. I found an ether. It's hidden over here. And then we move on to the big Ecruteak City. Wait, Who's that? Hi, I'm Bill. And who are you? Reiner? You've come the right time. I just finished my adjustments on my time capsule. You know that Pokemon can be traded, right? My time capsule was developed to enable trades with the past, but you can't send anything that didn't exist in the past. If you did, the PC in the past would have a breakdown. So you have to remove anything that wasn't around in the past. But simply, no sending new moves or new Pokemon in the time capsule. Don't you worry. I'm done with the adjustments. Tomorrow, time capsules will be running at all Pokemon centers. I have to hurry on back to Goldenrod and see my folks. Bye. And the time capsule is how you can trade between Gold, Silver, and Crystal and Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. But as Bill said, you do need to make sure you can only trade back Gen 2 Pokemon. So no Flaffy, no Hoppip, no Kingdra, anything like that. Even if it's an evolution of an older Pokemon, or a pre-evolution of a previous Pokemon, such as Igglybuff or Jigglypuff. They didn't exist in that game, so you can't get it back. Another thing, you can only trade away moves on Pokemon that existed back then. So something like Psychic or Thunderbolt or Scratch, if that's on one of your Pokemon, that's fine. However, any new move, such as Nightmare, Attract, Fury Cutter, those didn't exist in Generation 1, and therefore, you can't really trade it back. Now, even though you can't trade back moves that didn't exist, however, you can trade back moves that did exist, but a Pokemon couldn't learn in Gen 1. For example, we now have the access to the elemental punches. Previously, they weren't learnable by that many Pokemon. Hitmonchan being the most notable, maybe even the only one. I'm not quite sure on that. At least the most notable one. But now we can teach them to many different Pokemon. And older Pokemon, so Gen 1 Pokemon that could learn them, can learn them now, are maybe Ice Punch on a Hypno. Gengar, I think, can learn at least Ice Punch. Abra's entire evolutionary line can learn all of them. Just take an Abra that you catch right here around Goldenrod, teach it all 3 elemental punches, trade it back to Gen 1. Abra existed, the elemental punches all 3 existed, so you can trade it back, and that way in Generation 1, whether Red, Blue, or Yellow, or in Pokemon Stadium, that's how something like an Abra, a Gengar, a Hypno, whatever, can have access to the elemental punches. In Pokemon Stadium, it'll show up in a little color as if you cheated. But it's legal, you don't use any cheating device. Also, once you've seen Bill in Aquatic City, you go back to his house in Goldenrod. We get ourselves an Eevee. I didn't think about a nickname for Eevee. So if the chat has a suggestion, now is the time. Let's go Fluff. Eevee is fluffy. So let's go Fluff. The rest says Eevee can evolve in new and unknown ways, which is very, very true. Eevee in Gen 1 had 3 evolutions: Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon. It gained 2 more in this game. And we will be showing off one of them in this walkthrough. We won't be able to do it anytime soon though, but we'll keep Eevee in the party. Maybe we'll use it for 1 or 2 battles, although I don't really expect that to happen much. Alright, back to Aquatic City. Aquatic City is a pretty big place, with a lot of houses, a lot of buildings and things that you can do. This is a pretty cool place, the Dance Theater. We'll be going there later. The Pokemon Mart has some interesting items. There's a hidden thing here. Nice Hyper Potion. Aquatic used to have 2 towers, one in the east and in the west. While we're going through here, we can access one of them. Tin Tower is off limits to anyone without an Equitix gym badge. I'll have to leave. Okay. Just leave them. Here we have one of the towers, the burned tower. We can go to the left to Route 38. We have 2 more routes this way, another city. We obviously have this city itself with its own gym. From this person we can get the item finder. A key item that helps us find hidden items. And there are many more areas to go to. The main thing most people do is just fight the gym, because that's obviously next. We have 3 gym badges, this is the intended 4th gym badge. I'm actually going this way. Here's another route that we can use. Route 42, Equitix City to Mahogany Town. There's water here. We can't access that. We don't have surf yet. We can get surf pretty soon. And then we can use surf once we have beaten the 4th gym, so Equitix City's gym. We don't quite have that, so we could very well use Hoot Hoot. Sorry, Evie, you're going in the box. I'm gonna go grab Hoot Hoot. Take 2. We have flutters. And with flash we can illuminate the area and see where we're going. This is not Dark Cave, this is Mount Mortar. A mountain with 3 different entrances, and this is just one of them. And using the various paths in Mount Mortar, we can actually cross the water. Remember earlier I said we need surf to be able to cross that water, and for that we need the Equitix gym badge. Well, by going through Mount Mortar, which is a decent way around, but not too much, we can actually get to the other end of the water. And there's some interesting things to see there. There's a boulder here. This is what you need strength for. We don't have access to strength. We can already use it outside of battle, but we don't have the HM yet. Although I guess we do have access to the HM. Remember how I said you could go left of Equitix to go to a new city? That city actually is where you get the HM. So we already have access to the HM and therefore more of this area. Would be interesting to go explore there, actually. I might go do that in a bit and then just put that in the YouTube video if it's interesting, but not put it in the video if it's not. Actually, I think I just won't. Maybe once I have strength, I'll go back to explore here. I'm not going to grab strength early. What I am going to grab is this item right here. A guard spec. I'll just be selling that. I don't intend to use it in battle. And if we go here, we have another wild encounter. Another Machop. This is where you can catch the Machop if you didn't do the trade for Machop in Goldenrod City. Remember how I said there's 3 different exits, automatically 3 different entrances to Mount Mortar? Well, we took the leftmost one, which is close to Equitix City. And by going south of this place, we end up on the rightmost one, so the 3rd exit, you could say. And we will have crossed all bodies of water. It's in the middle of those bodies of water where the 2nd entrance is, but because we don't have surf yet, we don't have access to it. This is a new area with new trainers. But because this is, even though this is intended as the route before gym number 7, so this is a little while later into the intended story, you're able to go here before gym 4, as I'm literally doing right now. So that's why most of the trainers and most of the levels of Pokemon are lower than you might think. This is Mahogany Town. And Mahogany Town, well, this is Gym 7. This is intended as the 7th gym. Lake of Rage. Yeah, if we go north of Mahogany, we can go to Lake of Rage. And once we're able to use Surf, so after Gym 4, we can do something there. And we can do a bunch of story in and around Mahogany Town. This little shop is included in that. And then actually fight Mahogany Gym after Equity Gym. So you can fight the Mahogany Gym, the intended Gym 7, as Gym 5. There are things you can buy your Tiny Mushroom Slowpoke Tail, the only place you can actually buy them. Don't do it. It's illegal. Like, you're not going to get arrested by the police because police are incompetent. As you should try it. Give me Rage Candy Bar. 300, sure. Pretty sure it does the exact same as a full heal, but it's just cheaper. So you might want to. You can only buy one at once. No, it's not. Rage Candy Bar is just a potion. Never mind. I thought it was like a full heal. Then I would have got it, but it's not. So they say north to Lake of Rage. We will actually be doing that. Don't go into this house. There are, I'll just say it, there's Team Rocket people in there. And you're not allowed to go through it until you pay $1,000. 1,000 Poké Dollars. And they'll just take it from you. You don't have a choice. And then you can go through. Then if you want to pass through the house again, you have to pay it again. If you go through there, they take 1,000, you walk back out, you've still lost your 1,000. Giraffrig, a very interesting Pokemon that you can catch on this route. I think this is 43 or 44? This route? It's route 43. Just 43. Yeah, this is 43. Then 44 is to the right, so to the east of Mahogany. Yeah, because then 45 is south of Blackthorn. That works. Yeah, Giraffrig can be caught here. The thing with Giraffrig is it can only be caught here in gold and silver, so if you want to get it in crystal, you actually need to trade it. I'm purposely skipping all the trainers here because this is sort of intended as being done around Gym 7, really just before Gym 7, so I want to do this before Gym 7. Now, the levels here are a bit higher. It is harder to run away, as you can just see. They're harder to run away from the Pidgeotto, from the Giraffrig. So I am going to put Proton up front. I guess we're fighting this guy. I did intend to fight one trainer here, but I was just going to leave it up to chance, whichever one looks at me, and it's this one. This trainer has a Lickitung. Level 19. Pretty high level. Higher than the trainers we've seen so far. But if you've already beaten Gym 4, 5, and 6, which is usually done before you come here, then these are pretty easy battles. But they're actually quite challenging. They're around your level if you get here before Gym 4. Maybe they're a bit below your level, I suppose. Because I have 5 Pokemon on my team, and maybe at this point in the game you will have like 3 or 4 Pokemon. It really depends on what you catch, what you train. Maybe you're training 1 or 2 Pokemon more than the others. That's completely up to the player. Mareep is here. I believe Flaffy can be encountered here as well, yes. Flaffy actually has a higher appearance right here than Mareep does. Here's the other end of that house, so you can literally just go around it. I believe once you get rid of Team Rocket, which I'll show off later in the game, you can get a really good TM in here. Not the most useful, but it is really nice to have. It looks like we have to fight this one as well. Yeah. So if you would have dodged that other Pokemaniac, this one would have been... Ooh! Some guy named Aaron made fun of my Pokemon. Darn it, my Pokemon's great. So this actually, I think, the only NPC trainer, not counting important ones, like gym leaders or champion or whatever like that, a standard NPC trainer that mentions the name of your rival. This isn't dealing that much damage, so let's go to Scales, because Scales has a certain punching move that will deal a bit more damage against a Nidoking. Nidoking does have very good stats, so this person quite quickly evolved their Nidorino using a Moonstone. More double kicks, more damage for Scales, but Scales has Ice Punch, and that can do quite a lot of damage, because Nidoking gained the Ground type upon evolution from Nidorino. And it's frozen now as well. Now, it's something that did change between Generation 1 and 2 is related to the freeze status effect. In Gen 1, you can only get frozen via Ice Beam or Blizzard. Now there's a few more moves that can do it. But there's actually a chance to get out of it, and I believe it is a 20% chance per turn. Gen 1, you could just not get out of it. Here, 20% chance per turn. Also getting hit by a fire move. Instantly defrost 2. Oh, I guess we're fighting this one too. Although I'm not entirely certain on that one, I should look it up. Freeze. No, 10% chance. 20% chance Gen 3 onwards. If Tri-Attack is used against a frozen Pokemon, it's a 1 in 3 chance to thaw out the frozen target. A Pokemon cannot be frozen in harsh sunlight. Some moves can actually be used by the frozen Pokemon to defrost itself, and that's something not many people know. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 moves in total in the Pokemon franchise, but only 2 of these existed in the first generation. They're all fire types, so mostly fire types will use it, and fire types probably are the least likely to get frozen outside of ice types. But it's possible. If a Pokemon is frozen, they can use the move Sacred Fire, a move in this game exclusive to Ho-Oh, a legendary Pokemon, or Flame Wheel, which a few Pokemon can learn. Actually, I'm not sure which Pokemon Gen 2 can learn it, but Cyndaquil's line can. I know Arcanine can learn Flame Wheel, let's see. Yeah, Arcanine, Growlithe and Arcanine get it as well, and then Rattata can actually learn it via breeding. I thought that was only Gen 4 onwards, but Gen 2, Rattata can learn Flame Wheel. Pretty interesting, right? There's some other very interesting breeding moves or other moves that Pokemon can learn. Did you know that Wartortle can have Confusion? That Doduo can use Low Kick? There's quite a few moves like that that are pretty interesting. Oh, another Gyarados. I guess we're using Proton some more. Proton's definitely getting some levels, so we'll be using it a bit less later on. Hi, Joey. Rattata's energetic. You almost got a PG. Ooh, yeah, because the other guy you were fighting at the start of the game had a PG too, huh? Not too bad, maybe next time. Now, we could go further north from that previous Pokemaniac that we fought, and we actually end up at the Lake of Rage. But without Surf, there isn't too much we can do there. However, we can go here as well. There's a hidden item here. Ooh, yeah, we get a full restore. Very, very nice. This is sort of like a little hedge maze. But we have quite a top-down view, so it's a lot easier for us. There's some things, some items and things we can find here. A rare candy is among them. You can see there's a house at the end of the maze. We'll be looking at that house in a moment as well. Scale's getting a workout using Cut a lot. We can go around here. Cut some more. You can see water in the bottom right. That is the Lake of Rage. This area that I'm in right now is already considered Lake of Rage, and this is just an area around it, but the lake itself is that water area. We can pick up TM43 for Detect. It's basically like Protect, but less power points. Maybe a few other Pokemon can learn it. Actually, Protect can be learned by basically everything. I'm sure Protect was a TM in this game, though. Anyway, here's that house. This person has meditated. Inside me, a new power had been awakened. The TM for Hidden Power. Remember in episode 2 we went to the ruins of Alph and saw the Unknown, and Unknown showed off their Hidden Power. Unknown's only move is Hidden Power. The Hidden Power through this TM can be learned by almost everything. Only Pokemon that can't learn TMs, such as Magikarp, can't learn as every other Pokemon can. Whether it's Gyarados, or Heracross, or Hoot or Mewtwo, they can learn Hidden Power. But remember, it's dependent on the Pokemon's IVs what type Hidden Power is. It can be every type that exists except for normal, but also its power. 70 power is the maximum in this game. But if you have some bad IVs, or the calculations with the IVs with how the Hidden Power is calculated, if that doesn't work out for you, then you might actually end up with a 30 power or something like that move. And a 30 power Hidden Power is weaker than Tackle and Scratch and things like that. Let's compare it to the move Peck. Peck is a 35 power flying move that some birds get early on in the game. 35 power, so that's just over the minimum power of Hidden Power. And compare that to Hidden Power flying at minimum power at 30. Obviously, it's just a bit weaker than Peck. But Hidden Power at maximum, at 70 power, is double the power of Peck instead of being weaker than it. It's not as big as something like Surf or Earthquake or Flamethrower, but Hidden Power, considering it can be learned by everything, can mean something huge for coverage, because it can also be every type. Damon Barker, thank you very much for the follow. Now, a Pokemon that, let's say, is an electric type, that has a very, has lots of difficulty facing ground types, might want to use something like an ice or a water move to be able to counter such ground types. But what if that electric type can't learn such moves such as water? Or not a lot of electric types can learn water or ice type moves. But if you happen to have the right IVs, then you can give it through Hidden Power a water or ice type Hidden Power. You still need to be lucky that it's then also the same type. It is extremely hard to get it all to work out, especially in this game. Later games are through more breeding mechanics and also through checks of what types Hidden Power is. It's easier to get the type and the power you want, but it's still pretty difficult, especially in this game where it was introduced. But it's possible, in the most optimal sense, at least, that you can add to the coverage. Gyarados has higher physical attack stat than special, for sure. However, it's water flying type, and in this generation, water types are all special moves, so things like Hydro Pump and Surf. So that's not as powerful as you might want it to be with a Gyarados. But Gyarados is also a flying type. Flying moves are all physical in this game. Fly, Drill Peck, Wing Attack. But Gyarados doesn't learn any flying moves. Except Hidden Power Flying. If that Gyarados happens to have the right IVs for a flying type Hidden Power, and it's powerful, such as 70 or maybe near 70 power, then that could be a very good move to teach your Gyarados. Now, I have a Pokemon in mind that I might want to teach Hidden Power to in the future, but then I need to do tests to see what type it is, because just by using it against various types of Pokemon, such as something that's normal effective against this Mankey, can still be a fire move. It can still be a water move, can be an electric move, can be a not normal, can be a fighting move. It can still be many different types of moves. However, I know for certain that it's not psychic, that it's not flying, things like that. And then, let's say I know it's like grass or fire or water or something, and then I fight a Poliwag, use the same Hidden Power, and then it's something not very effective. Then I know it's either a water or a fire type. And then I use it against a different Pokemon that would make certain which one it is. And that is how you can figure out the type of hidden power that you have. Unfortunately, there's no way of knowing exactly like that what power your hidden power is. You just have to maybe compare it to your other moves and do a calculation in your head. If you have Flamethrower in your Pokemon, that's also Fire type. Flamethrower, 95 power. With Stab, because you have a Fire type, 142.5. That's just over double what hidden power would be. So let's say that Fire type is my Kulava, and my Kulava also has a hidden power that I know is Water. Both Water and Fire are special moves. Then the optimal power, hidden power, so 70, would deal just under half the damage of Flamethrower from that Kulava. Now, there are minimum rolls and maximum rolls in the damage calculations, but it's possible to sort of look at it like that, or compare it to other moves and approximately what it is, so you get a good idea of what you have.